Marketing Your Private Practice is a podcast where you'll learn easy to implement tips and strategies to grow your business without spending all day online. I'm your host, Kathy Colaiacovo, and I teach practitioners the Thrive marketing method to create simple and streamlined plans by focusing on long-term strategies, not just social media. Discover ways to spend less time on your marketing, attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Getting clients for your practice starts with getting leads. And if you aren't bringing in new leads on a consistent basis, that's something we need to address, not ignore like many practitioners do. In today's episode, I'm going to walk you through some simple steps to review your list building plans, which means looking at your lead generation system and your lead generation funnel. We want to make sure that no critical elements are missing so that your system brings in those new leads on a regular basis. Let's get started. Practitioners like you deserve a thriving practice helping your clients live long, healthy lives. But this won't happen if you're spending more time on marketing than you do working with clients. I'm Kathy Colaiacovo, marketing strategist for practitioners and dietitians, and I can tell you that marketing your private practice shouldn't be complicated or take hours a day. This podcast helps you build your confidence and skills with actionable and easy to understand marketing strategies, along with time-saving tips. You'll learn to spend less time on your marketing, how to attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Growing a thriving practice doesn't happen without planning, but many folks skip the planning, which in the long run means skipping out on results. No results means not achieving your goals. You probably get the feeling this is happening for you if you aren't booking the consults that you need to convert into clients, the folks who will pay you for your services. Here's the thing. When it comes to getting clients, it does mean starting with getting leads. And if you aren't bringing those leads in consistently, we really need to address that, not ignore it. You want to start by taking a step back and putting a few simple things into place. Make the changes so that you can start growing that list again. And if you're just starting out, these are the same things you need to put in place, whether you're new or have been doing this for a while. So listen up, because you need to know you're not alone in this. Sometimes we all need to step back and review the plans, to redo the plan and get it working again, or improving on what it's doing now. In today's episode, I'm going to walk you through the simple steps to review your list building plans by looking at your lead generation system and funnel so that we can make sure no critical elements are missing. You'll also learn everything you need to know to ensure your system has the makings of one that is going to bring in those leads on a regular basis. Now, when we talk about list building and getting leads, I'm referring to an element in Pillar 1 of marketing a practice or business online, your foundations. There are 10 foundations, and number 8 is your lead generation system. And if you've never checked out to see if your foundations are in place, I have a quiz on my website you can take to learn if you have the foundations in place for your practice or not. And I'll link to that in the show notes. So a lead generation system is the system you put in place to get new leads for your practice by having people sign up on your email marketing list. This is where a lead magnet comes into play, and we've been talking about those recently on the podcast. A lead magnet is that carrot on a stick in your system that you dangle in front of people to entice them to hand over their name and email address. And we do it this way because no one wants more emails hitting their inbox, so few people will sign up when they see the words, "Get my newsletter," but they sure as heck want that lead magnet you have. And because you've been following my advice and you've created something irresistible for them, so irresistible, they're happy to give you their name and email address, that's why you need that lead magnet. And it's also why every lead generation system includes a lead magnet. But to make the system work smoothly, there are 6 other elements you want to have in place so that everything is working and is able to take on those new leads 24/7, no matter if you're working or not. Who doesn't want things working while you sleep? I know I love it. So first off, let's define a little more what a lead generation system and a lead generation funnel are so that you know what you're planning. So, a lead generation funnel is the path that you want to plan for people to take when they hear about your practice or visit your website. You may be taking them from a place of just being aware or hearing about your practice for the first time, or someone referring you to them, and maybe they're finding you on social media. The goal here is you want these new visitors who are finding you to sign up and get on your email list. This is called converting them to being a subscriber. Then, what you want to do is nurture those subscribers a little more closely. They're on your email list. You can send information to them. And the idea is get them to know, like, and trust you so that when they're ready, and maybe sometimes it's by you encouraging them that they're ready, they convert into becoming a paying client. The lead generation system helps make this path, your funnel, a possibility. The system has all the tools and programs and software needed to take folks on that journey without requiring you in a lot of the places. So, your lead generation system is what helps the path happen, the funnel happen, and happen at any time, day or night, versus you manually collecting names and email addresses to get a lead magnet back to someone. I will talk a little bit later on about doing lead generation manually, but for now, I want you to know we're going to talk about it in doing it in a systematized way. Okay. Your lead generation system is often the thing that many practice and business owners forget to plan out. They don't take the time to do the planning and make sure that the entire funnel is set up in a way so that people can see and get what they need as they go through the funnel. Practice owners are not always sure what is involved in their funnel and what elements they need in the lead generation system. Sometimes it's because things just seem a lot more simpler than they may be on the backside of things when you look at what you need in place. And sometimes I feel it's because there are coaches, consultants, and strategists who are out there telling people that you need to get this system in place, that it can work seamlessly and it's so easy to do, but they never get into the details of what's really needed to make things work seamlessly. I remember once about 10 years ago, a client came to me with two colleagues. They'd all been to a conference in the States and they had signed up to work with a coach who was going to help them grow and scale their businesses. They were going to do it by having a group program, and each one of them was going to have a webinar to launch their program, what they referred to as an indoctrination webinar. I swear, that's the word that they used. I didn't make it up. So they came home from this conference and they all wanted to have their own indoctrination webinar and get it working. Now, a webinar is a type of a lead magnet, so it is part of a lead generation funnel in a version where you're doing a live webinar with people versus downloading a PDF. It's one of those 20 different types of lead magnets that you can have. So the issue was they had gone to this conference, they'd been told to go have a webinar, have their program so that people could buy their program and work with them, but they really didn't understand anything other than the fact they were going to need GoToWebinar. That time, that's what they needed because it was pre-Zoom days. And that's all they really understood. They had to have a webinar. They didn't know how to get people to it. They didn't know how people signed up for it. They didn't know how people would get into the webinar. They didn't know how they would hear about it. They really were missing all of the details. And a lot of it is what's involved in the lead generation system. So we went through a quick call. I laid out the steps they would need to take. And she was actually very shocked to find out what was actually involved in making these happen versus what they were told, because they were kind of told big picture on it. So, not a lot of the details. But when you get down to the details, those are the elements in your lead generation system that are going to make things work. At first glance, a lot of systems, when you find out the details, may actually seem more complicated. But with some forethought and planning, you can get these systems in place to see the success you're after. Now, that previous client of mine, I did help them and they all went about their launches without any missteps, with some success, but they did have a much deeper understanding of the entire process. So now that you understand a little bit more about what a lead generation system and a funnel are, let's talk about those other elements in your lead generation system and how you can plan them out for your own practice so that you can start increasing your leads and clients. When you understand as well what's involved in the lead generation system, it often makes planning your funnel a little bit easier too. So, we've already talked about the first element in a lead generation system. It's the lead magnet, your free offer that you're going to give people so that they get something from you when they give you their name and email address. And we've talked about this before in episode 13. There's 20 different types of lead magnets you could create. You will want to take the time to plan and create your lead magnet so that it is irresistible to your ideal client. And so, in that respect, you really have to take the time for this particular element in your lead generation system to have its own strategic planning process as well. Just slapping together an ebook or a PDF may not work if you haven't really thought out where you want people to go from here once they get that lead magnet. That's part of the lead generation funnel that you need to plan out. And if you're listening to this podcast in November of 2022, I am hosting a free 2-week boot camp that starts on the 29th, and it will help you develop and create your own lead magnet from start to finish. So if you're not sure how to make your own irresistible lead magnet, check out the show notes to register for the boot camp. If you're listening afterwards, just send me a DM or message me, and I will make sure that I share with you what other items are available to help you at the moment. So your first element is the lead magnet. Your second element in the lead generation system is your actual email marketing system. Using an email marketing system helps make this entire process work seamlessly. But I know many practitioners starting out will be challenged with investment in money for setting up a system, but also tech issues if they're doing a lot of the marketing on their own. Now, the money part can easily be solved because there are lots of systems out there that offer a free version or a limited feature version to get you started. ConvertKit and MailerLite are the top two. MailChimp does offer a free version. I often refer to it as my nemesis, but most of the systems out there offer a free version in one way or another, but they may have limited features. Sometimes they don't have really good options for help or support. Or sometimes they just may be too complicated. And I get that. Even with the free systems, they're not free if you need to invest your time to figure them out because your time is money too. But I will say most have a low priced option for you to have a paid version starting out. ConvertKits is about $108 a year, I believe. And I promise when you use something like this, it will save you well more than $108 of your time. So you do want to think about whether or not investing in this now or later will help you in the way of putting money into it now and time now to save you in the long run. So if you really feel you can't make a system work for you right now, stick with a manual option, which is essentially people sending you an email asking for the lead magnet, you sending them an email back, giving them the lead magnet. My issue with that is we take away a little bit of the instant gratification that people get when they're looking for these. And in the time it takes for you to send something manually, they may move on and get that same type of help from a competitor. So that's why I do encourage you to have an email marketing system. And you can take some time, learn them, get some help if needed. Many of the members in my inner circle and Thrive Marketing Academy, they're always asking me questions about their email marketing systems because I've used so many over the years. I can guide them through on how to use it if they need to. So there is help out there if that's something that you need. You really just have to look at the opportunity cost of what your time is worth versus what something like that will cost you to set up at the beginning and then use on a regular basis. The third element in your lead generation system is your opt in form. And this is something that comes in from your email marketing system. And with the opt in form is the automation that will happen when people fill out your form. So the form is something you set up in the email marketing system. And typically you copy the code for the form and use it on a web page in a way so that you see the fields, name and email, and the submit button where people can enter their name and email and hit enter, submit, and then it triggers an automation within the system so that all of the things that we're going to talk about in elements 5, 6, and 7 that need to happen do happen. Okay. Most email systems have a way for you to set up the automation so that once someone fills out the form, certain steps will happen, and that's how they get the lead magnet delivered right to them. So the third element is using your email marketing system, and in particular, having the form where people can opt in and the automation set up to make these different things happen that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. So your fourth element is the lead generation page. And this is the standalone page on your website where people can opt into the form, fill out their name and email, and get the lead magnet. It is the initial item in the lead generation funnel that you're directing people to. Your marketing is going to send them to this lead generation page so they can get the lead magnet. That's where we want website traffic landing, on this lead generation page. And the reason I say it's a standalone page is because this page does a lot of the heavy lifting in converting those website visitors into actual leads. By having this page all by itself, standing alone, where the only action someone can take on it is to fill out the form and sign up for the lead magnet, well, this makes it very hard to confuse anybody. If you have a call to action that says, click here to get my free guide, and the person clicks and comes to this page, they know exactly what to do on this standalone page, this lead generation page. They fill out the form to get the lead magnet you told them about in that social media posts. But here's a couple mistakes that people make with their lead generation funnel. One, they don't use the standalone page and instead they send people to their homepage. A homepage on a website can be a very busy place. If people don't instantly see where to get this guide that you mentioned, they may leave. In fact, they will leave. They have no time these days, and you have under 10 seconds for them to make a decision on what to do. A standalone lead generation page gives you this best chance that someone will request the lead magnet. And it does that because there's only one message on there: sign up and fill out this form. On a home page, there's a lot of other messages that could be there. And if you confuse people, you're going to lose them. Now, the second big mistake people make with a lead generation page is they don't actually put the page on their website. They use the easy to create landing page tool in their email marketing system and make a landing page there. Now, this option does make it very easy for someone without a lot of web tech or design skills to create that standalone landing page, which I do want you to have. But the problem is that page is then hosted on your email marketing system's website, not your website. So as an example, if you use ConvertKit to do this and use one of their landing pages that you can quick and easy make a landing page, that's all well and good, but the URL for that page is going to be on ConvertKit's website, not your website. So this is really happening. What happens with this is it means ConvertKit's website will get the traffic, not your domain. And this is why I really want this standalone page, this lead generation page on your website, if you can make it happen. This is an entirely other discussion we're going to have, and I'll be covering this mistake in the 2-week marketing bootcamp I'm hosting. So be sure to join me for that. And if you're coming to listen to this episode after November of 2022, just reach out to me and I'll explain why not having your form and your landing page on your own website is such a mistake when it comes to lead generation and why it's not something I recommend. I can go into a little more detail if you want to reach out about that. So after people sign up on this landing page, this lead generation page that you have, and some people will I call it a lead generation page. So it's the fourth element, but some folks will call it a landing page, an opt-in page, a sign-up page. There's all sorts of different names for it, but essentially it just means it's the one place where you sign up for that lead magnet. So after people do sign up for it, you want to continue them on in this path in the funnel. And this is where the automation that we were talking about in element number 3 is going to send them somewhere after they fill out the form. Typically, they're going to go to a thank you page, which is element number 5 that we want you to have in place for your lead generation system. A thank you page is the page where people go after they opt in for your lead magnet. Your email marketing system and how you set up your form will make all of this happen, but I highly encourage a thank you page versus a simple pop-up thank you message. And here's why. A thank you page is and should be a place where you can do way more than just say thank you to the new people who opted in for the lead magnet. If all you're doing on your thank you page is saying thank you, it's really a waste of time and a waste of an opportunity. You've got their attention here. They've signed up. They want the lead magnet. Sometimes you might give them the lead magnet right there on the thank you page, though I don't really recommend this. You can be a little more strategic. Instead of giving them the lead magnet, tell them it's coming in the email and they can check their inbox, and offer them something else here on the thank you page that helps build the relationship you just started with them. You could send them to read a blog to get more information. You could have them connect with you on social media. You could offer them a special deal or upsell them on a product or a service. You could have a video there that shares some more information and helps them get to know you. I think this is a really underused space when it comes to lead generation systems, because a lot of people just think, oh, I don't really need a thank you page, or they do those pop up messages. But here's an example of how you could use one. I have a lead magnet that shares the top 5 tools I use to create picture perfect images for marketing. And I can tell you right now, on my thank you page for that lead magnet, I have a special 50% offer on my Canva training course. It's a perfect match. If you are interested in this lead magnet and you're looking for tools to create images easier use them in your marketing, the Canva training course that I have that teaches you how to use Canva to make fast and easy images, it's a perfect match. If you want the lead magnet, you're going to possibly be a good ideal client for the Canva training course. So on the thank you page, I give it to you a special offer of 50% off. So you want to think of different ways you can use your thank you page and get creative or strategic on it. Never let a thank you page go to waste by just saying thank you on it. After the thank you page, then you'll want to send them element number 6, which is the thank you email, or sometimes referred to as the lead magnet delivery email. This is the instant email you send to the person who opted into your lead magnet. It gives them the lead magnet access or reminds them of the lead magnet if you gave them the lead magnet on the thank you page. Now, a lot of folks who do put the lead magnet on the thank you page, they don't put it again in this email, in the thank you email, and that's a big mistake. What if the person didn't save the thank you page or the lead magnet when they got it there? If you don't give it to them again in the email, they'll probably forget all about it and forget about you. So it's a waste of a good lead, if you ask me. The thank you email should always reiterate and deliver the item they requested or give them access to it, as well as saying thank you for signing up. I like to keep these initial emails short so that they focus on getting and using the lead magnet. You could add a PS in that email to reiterate any upsell offer you made on the thank you page if you want to, but don't get much more complicated than that, or they'll miss the lead magnet you spent so much time developing. And when you strategically plan the lead magnet with a purpose, you don't want them to miss out on using it. So element number 6 is that thank you email that delivers your lead magnet. Now, number 7 in here is another aspect of talking about email marketing, because once they have your lead magnet, email shouldn't stop there, not with that one thank you email. You want to have a follow-up series or a nurture sequence of emails going out to them as well after they get the thank you email. And that's your element number 7. It's a series of emails you can create to nurture the new lead who signed up for your lead magnet. Because once they download the lead magnet, you want to continue nurturing them, giving them good information, send them a series of emails. And I don't mean random emails. These emails need to have a purpose and be planned out. You have to think about what your goal is for the lead magnet, and that will help you know what you want to include in these emails. This is why the lead magnet planning process is so important. You need to know, after they get the lead magnet, ultimately, where do you want them to be? Where do you want them to consider signing up with you or working with you? These nurture emails are intended to guide them to that ultimate place where they sign up for a consult, then a service or a program with you. Planning out the path from that initial download to booking a call with you or signing up the service, that is all part of your lead generation funnel. And this element number 7, this sequence of emails, is the way you're going to get to that path and have people finish it out and come to the spot where you want them to go. This is why moving into one of the email marketing systems as soon as possible is critical, so that the people who visit your website to get that something that will help them out with a problem, you want them to get it right away. The lead generation system will make this happen. There's the form there. You get them sent to a thank you page. They get the thank you email. Then they get the follow-up series of emails. There's no waiting for you to see and email someone back who asked for your checklist, and then you have to find the document and manually email them back. This really will take more time, and it will mean some unsatisfied people. So using an email marketing system will help all of this happen so much easier and just seamless in people's minds and what they're really expecting these days. People expect to get these lead magnets instantly in today's online world, and your lead generation system is what makes that happen. If you're doing it manually, you could run into some challenges in building your list of leads. Now, let me give you an idea of what this all looks like when it's all set up, because those are the 7 elements. And I'm going to give you a sample of a lead generation system and the funnel in place for a checklist that leads to, we'll say, a small priced offer, and then booking a consult to talk to people about your program. So let's think about this in the way that we have a free checklist, say, with 5 steps to ditch diet culture. And it's going to upsell someone to a $27 mini course on intuitive eating. And then the next step is to book a discovery call to apply for a group support program. So that's kind of what we want our lead generation funnel to do and the path we want it to go on. So the email marketing system is in place, and it has a form and the automation that's going to happen when someone fills out the form. People will get sent to a special URL, which is your thank you page. They'll also get tagged in the email system that they've requested this particular lead magnet, and the automation connected to all of this will also send them that series of emails. So here's how it works from start to finish. People either find your lead generation page or they're directed to it because you put some posts out on social media or talk about it in videos, whatever. So they come to the lead generation you have for the free checklist and they find it. If they decide they want to opt into the form for the checklist, they fill out the form and then get redirected to your thank you page. The thank you page confirms what they requested, the checklist, lets them know it's coming by email to watch for the email. But also, if you're interested right now, I have a special deal on a mini course on intuitive eating if you're interested. The checklist and the course are really related, so it makes sense to do this here. So you make that offer there. They may not take it, they may. But either way, now the person is on your email marketing list and the automation sends them the series of emails. The first one is the thank you email that gives them the checklist and a PS reminding them about the $27 offer. Then a series of 4 more emails comes out over the next 10 days with some added tips to help them use the checklist or get more information on the course, and an offer there to book a free call to discover their top roadblock when it comes to stopping the up and down dieting they've been doing. They book the call, maybe in this case, and you get to help them figure out their next step. And the one option that you can give them, or one of them, is working with you. So you make an offer to help them even deeper with the program. Maybe they say yes, maybe they say no. If they say yes, they sign up and yay, you have a new client. Or they could say no, and a lot will, but they're still in your email system. So they're going to continue to get your consistent emails or newsletters because you are listening to my podcast. And I really hope that means you're sending out consistent content, which is an important foundation in your marketing. And they may open some of the emails, they may not open some of the emails, but they stay on your list. And at some point, they may reach a point where they decide they need more help than the free tips and reach out again, and this time to take action. That is how your lead generation system works once it's in place. It helps people follow the funnel that you set up for them, moving from one stage to the next, from just hearing about you to connecting with you, signing up on your list, and then being nurtured until they convert into being a client. This lead generation system is critical to you getting those leads coming into your practice or your business. Making sure you have your system set up is going to be really critical to the list building and lead generation that you're doing, or should be doing, if you want to have a steady flow of leads who may be people that turn into working with you and becoming clients. So, a quick recap of these 7 elements of your lead generation system. They are: number 1, your lead magnet; number 2, your email marketing system; number 3 is the opt in form and the automation you'll set up in your email marketing system; Number 4 is that standalone lead generation page, ideally on your website, not on your email marketing systems one. Number 5 is the thank you page where you want to do way more than just say thank you. Number 6 is the thank you email that's going to also deliver that lead magnet. And then number 7 is a follow-up series or nurture sequence of emails that is intended to keep the conversation going, keep building the relationship, and helping folks develop the know, like, and trust in you and your services. So when you think about all these elements, taking the time to plan this system is the best thing that you can do to ensure your lead generation system is working and effective. And it all starts with that lead magnet, which is why it is such an important part of your overall marketing plans. So your action step today, I want you to sit back and think about your lead generation system you have now. Look at your system and check these 7 elements to it and make sure that you're not missing any of them. If you are, do what you can to put them in place so that your marketing content can be directing people to that lead generation page and getting those leads coming into your practice. If you need help, well, that's where I can come in. Whether it's one of my free marketing boot camps or joining one of my programs, let's talk and see which way is the best path for you to take. You don't have to struggle alone putting these systems into place. There is help to make your marketing less complicated. You can simplify and streamline your marketing, and when you do that, you will grow that thriving practice. If you need any help getting that into place, please reach out to me. Send me a DM on Instagram or reach out to me through the links in my show notes. And you can check out all the show notes and the resources from this episode at marketingyourprivatepractice.com/15. And if you're not sure the bootcamp is still happening or not, DM me on Instagram. I'm @PepperItMarketing, and ask me right away to see if we can get you into the bootcamp sessions. There are 4 of them. They go over 2 weeks. So you could still have time if you're listening to this even in early December. This is Kathy Colaiacovo with Marketing Your Private Practice, and I wish you a fabulous day, and I will see you in the next episode. You can find all of the show notes from Marketing Your Private Practice with Kathy C. and the resources mentioned in this podcast at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. I'd love to connect with you on Instagram. You can find me there by searching for PepperItMarketing. I'd love to hear any feedback you have on the podcast, and be sure to review us online and hit subscribe on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes. You can find all of our show notes and resources mentioned at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at PepperItMarketing and say hi. I'd love to hear any feedback you have, and make sure to rate and review the podcast and hit subscribe on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes.